Thank you for the bravery. I think I've done all 12 at different points in my life. Well, guess what? Every single human being has these programs. And here's why. At some time, they kept us safe. But the things that kept us safe are now stopping us from reaching our outcome. We have a goal, we have the intention, we start taking the action. But all those old thoughts, those old feelings, those old behaviors, those programs, they haunt us. That's why the outcome doesn't happen. Or if it does happen, why it reverses. Because we go back to the automatic SP thoughts, feelings, behaviors, and it's all powered by the beliefs. What does SP stand for? Self-protective. If you have one of these programs, don't be hard on yourself. It's not because you're flawed. Every human has them. And here's why. At some point in life, it kept us safe. It made us feel safe. It made us feel like we didn't have the same danger. And it's usually the danger of being unwanted or rejected, the danger of being uncomfortable, the stress over feeling stress and anxiety, the danger of failing. It protected us. And so we did it again. And we did it again. And it protected us again. So we kept doing it, kept returning to this habit, this behavior, again and again and again, until guess what, my friends? It became hardwired in our brain. It became automatic. So now it happens without us even consciously deciding to do it. You ever do this? Why did I do that again? I said I wasn't going to do that. Why? I wish I wouldn't have done that. I did it again. Why? I have. And it used to drive me bonkers. But now I realize it was my programs. Neurobiology. There's nothing wrong with you. You're a good person. You have all the willpower you need. It's not recognizing that these are programs that exist in your neural hardwiring, and they're not who you are. Huge difference. Because every time we use these programs to protect us from whatever's going on, we just keep storing up the pain that we don't want to feel, we don't want to show, we don't want to deal with. It's there. And it's energy, and it doesn't go away. So it gets stored. And after a while, the pain so much, we shame it down. We don't want anyone to know about it. We don't even want to deal with it. And we sure as heck hope no one finds out about it. Because if they found out about this part of us, they definitely would not want us. They would not love us. They would not even like us. They would reject us. So we don't want to tell anyone about it. We don't even want to deal with it ourselves. We just keep finding a way to not handle it. They're programs. It's not real. Not everyone sees the world the way we do with our programs. It's our programs that causes us to see danger, to see fear, to want to avoid things, to want to numb ourselves, to want to overeat things, to give up on ourselves before we get the results. And until we do something about it, it'll continue to run the show. Here's what you do about it. You realize that your conscious mind allows you to think and make decisions right now. That's the mind you're aware of all the time. Your unconscious mind, you never can tap into that directly. Can't. But there's this layer in between called the pre-conscious mind. That's where the work happens. That's where you can align again with your authentic self and down-regulate the old programs. Okay, you have an intention, your words. This is the order of operations, everyone. Now, feelings come up all along the way, by the way. Your feelings, they're always there. There can be here. Do you feel your feelings there? Feelings are always coming up. So working with feelings, very, very important. But in order to get to your outcome, to start with your intention and get to your outcome, these have to align. Authentic alignment means aligning your intentions with everything in between so you can get to your outcome. Whatever outcome you're going for in life, if these aren't aligned, the odds of you getting there are very, very slim. If some of them are aligned, your odds increase. If they're all aligned, it's inevitable. You will get your outcome. It's how neuroscience works. It's how your brain and your hormones and your neurochemicals work together. but we don't align these. Feelings get in the way. When we feel a feeling that we don't like, we always attach a story to it. The feeling comes up, you right away give it a story. In most cases, those stories aren't true. In most cases, those stories are what are holding you back. So if you can feel the feelings without attaching your old story to it, those feelings lose their power and those old stories lose their power. But remember, these are programmed in that unconscious mind deep below the water. So self-protective behaviors, the things you just do automatically: avoiding, procrastinating, binge eating, using drugs, lying. Oh, I was such a white liar. I would always say the first thing out of my mouth was automatic. That what I thought would make my wife happy, I would just say it. I did this my whole life with so many people. I would just say the thing I thought they wanted to hear instead of what was true. It was automatic because I had done it so many times and it helped me that I kept doing it and kept doing it even when I didn't want to do it anymore. If this has happened to you in some area of life, welcome to being human. The beliefs are what's powering it. We have beliefs about ourselves that we don't want anyone else to know about that aren't true. I will never be as successful as that person. I am not smart enough. I don't have enough willpower. No one really likes me. I will always be poor. I can never be thin again. I'm too old to find another great relationship. It goes on and on. They're beliefs that cause the traits. And Rowena mentioned this. These beliefs started in childhood. And they're not your fault. You had to get them as a little girl, a little boy to protect you. They're not your fault. But don't feel sorry for yourself because now they are your problem. And when you bring what's in the darkness into the light, you can do something about it. And I think I'm quoting Carl Jung here. When you leave the darkness and don't bring it to the light, you let it just stay there, the same behaviors and outcomes will continue to repeat themselves, and we call it destiny. All because we're not addressing these beliefs and programs. Now, the programs, those are the unconscious programs that have been running since early childhood, and you don't have to figure them all out. You just have to realize that the beliefs that came from them aren't true. And until you change those beliefs about yourself when you're by yourself, they're going to continue to run the show. Put them all together. These are the three things that are stopping you from getting to your outcome. Feelings are going to happen, ladies. They're going to happen. Feelings, again, are a combination of a hormone and neurochemicals. They cause a feeling. You feel it in your body, sometimes your whole body. But the stories we tell ourselves about those feelings, we can change. Your feelings and your thoughts and your feelings, they go together. Sometimes the thought will trigger the feeling. Sometimes the feeling will trigger the thought. Be aware that you are not your thoughts. You're not your feelings. You're creating them. They are not who you are. They are things we create. And you have way more control over your thoughts and your feelings, but the feelings will eventually align and match your thoughts. Which one comes first, the thought or the feeling or the thought? The trick is when the feelings come, however they came, not to attach a lot of thinking around them. Don't attach the old story to it. If you have the same feelings and the same stories, you're always going to get the same outcome. That is neuroscience. Here's what happens. The thoughts and the feelings, they run the show. Next thing you know, you're going to the old behavior, the one you've always done. And that's your belief. You believe it will make you feel better. You believe it's okay. You believe it's the right thing to do. You believe you will stop tomorrow. Maybe you believe you just can't stop doing it. These beliefs are what I want to help you change. And first, we have to downregulate the hormones and the neurochemicals that are causing them. Here's how you do that. Your secret weapon is awareness. All change starts with awareness. These are unconscious programs stopping you from getting to your outcome. They're programs. Don't take them personally. Don't identify with them. Don't say that's who you are, and definitely don't think that's how they always has to be. Neuroplasticity is real. You can change your old programs. And when you do, you change your beliefs, you change your actions, the traits of the behaviors, you change all of your automatic and conscious programs. But it starts with awareness. So the one tool I want you all to take away from today is metacognition, which is the fancy psychoanalytical word for awareness. Raise your awareness. Write it down, say it, put it in a memo, say it to a friend. I'm going to raise my awareness. Raising your awareness is a first step to healing your hormones. Now, I can give you all kinds of fancy science behind this. It's neuroscience, it's neuroplasticity. But the two I want you to pay attention to, neuroendocrinology. This is the combination of what's going on in your brain and your hormones. And then psychoneuroimmunology, you getting sick, you having issues. It's what's going on in your brain, your thoughts, your feelings, and your immune system. Epigenetics is real. Neuroplasticity is real. Why shouldn't we capitalize on this as well? It is part of your hormone recovery journey, and it all starts with awareness. You don't have to learn what all these mean, but you do have to accept this truth. What you think, what you feel, and what you do are all connected. The way your body looks, the way your body feels, and your overall energy and approach to life is a combination of your hormones and neurochemicals. All right, awareness. This is your task. Raising your awareness. And the fancy word for it, metacognition. Here's what metacognition is in a nutshell. Being conscious of what's going on in your own thinking process. Are you distracted? Are you in the present moment? Are you doing one thing but thinking about another? Are you doing something and analyzing it and judging it and giving all this external dialogue the whole time? Becoming aware of what you're thinking. What do you think about yourself when you're by yourself? What do you think about yourself when you feel scared or worried that someone's judging you? What do you think about yourself when you're in an uncomfortable new situation? Be aware of those thoughts. Those thoughts are coming from old programs, old beliefs. And those thoughts are what are keeping you hormone unhealthy. This is all hormones and neurochemistry. It's not a matter of wishing it away or being a bad person or a good person. No, this is science. This is neurobiology, and you can change it. But it is boring, redundant work. And who doesn't love a little boring, redundant work? You go to all the therapy you want, by the way. Unless you change your programs, therapy is not going to help. Hunger awareness is the easiest one. Are you really hungry? Be aware of it. Or are you just eating because it's time to eat, or food smells good, or your friends and family are eating, or are you eating for feelings? You've probably heard me say my what the F word am I putting in my mouth saying before. If you haven't, you'll hear it again. This one's going kind of long, so I would want to respect your time. But are you actually hungry? And lots of people call awareness different things: consciousness, stillness, connection, presence. You cannot be aware of what's going on right now if you're thinking about what you have to do later. You cannot be aware of what's going on right now if you're thinking about the mistake you made earlier in the day. Awareness can only happen in the present moment. You cannot be aware of the future or the past. That's predicting, and that's a memory. Your awareness has to be in the present moment. So now being, that's what I call it. Being in the now. Eckhart Tolle illustrates this beautifully in his book, Power of Now. And he's right. Right now, all of us have very few problems. We have internet. We're on the presentation together. We have enough health in our life to pay our Wi-Fi bill and have a device to watch it on. We're okay right now at this moment. But the moment we start thinking about next month or next year or what's going to happen tonight, starts going up. We can only do something about our lives. We can only create change, transformation, and breakthrough now, right now. So you have to be aware on a moment to moment basis and become aware. Am I focused? Is my attention on the present moment? Am I in the now being? Am I a now being? Am I living in the now? If you're not, the stress hormones are going up. So you have hunger awareness. You have practicing now being. Those are your two things so far. Hope some of you wrote that down. Hunger awareness, practicing now being, and now here's where we do the work. Thought awareness. If you're thinking negative thoughts, write them down. I will show you how to reframe them into the truth and reprogram your brain. Body awareness. What emotions are you feeling? Does your body feel hungry? Does your body feel tired? Are you connected with your body? Are you dialed in? Are you tuned in? Avoidance awareness. What are you avoiding? Usually what we avoid is the very thing we have to go into head first. Ask yourself, am I avoiding this? This takes a lot of behind the scenes work. Either in your F3 journal, your P3 journal, you write down those feelings, you write down those thoughts, and then you reframe them as truth, your authentic truth. And you will find there's a lot of things we avoid that if we just go into it with courage, with authenticity, we're going to have a different outcome. And it impacts our hormones. This all impacts your hormones. When you practice awareness, thought awareness, body awareness, hunger awareness, avoidance awareness, your stress hormones are going to go down. At first, it's going to suck. Not going to lie. Because you're not going to do the same familiar, comfortable thing. It's going to suck. But then you take control of it. Then you stop the daily drip of cortisol and norepinephrine, which are causing you stress all day long. Attention awareness. What are you paying attention to? It's very true. Where our attention goes, our energy flows. It's true with your neurochemicals and your hormones too. But sometimes we're not even conscious of where our attention's going. Prioritizing your attention and directing your attention are huge tools to get your mind where it needs to be instead of all over the place. Authentic awareness. Are you being real? Are you being true to your truth? Or are you putting on a show? Are you being authentic to your values, your goals, what you're going towards? Are you thinking about and putting attention towards what you want to go towards? Or are you thinking about and paying attention to what you don't want, what you want to avoid? Ask yourself that question. Are you paying attention to what you want, what you would like to have, how you want your life to be? Or are you paying attention to what you fear and what you want to avoid, what you don't want? Wherever you put your attention, that's what you're going to create. Not only have I studied this and learned it, I've experienced it in my own life multiple times. And just to highlight it, all this awareness starts with you deciding right now, I'm going to live in the now being, and I'm going to be aware of what's going on. I'm going to choose where my attention goes. I'm not going to let the old programs decide. When the old programs come, here is a strategy I teach everyone I work with. R3 it. Recognize it as a program. Don't judge it. Don't argue with it. Don't fight with it. Don't analyze it. Don't feel bad about it. Don't get mad at it. Make friends with it. Haha, there you are again. And release it instantly. Recognize it, release it, and replace it. And if you care about being aware, if you care about change and transformation and breakthrough, you are good growing better at this very moment. Or it could be something simple as my attention goes towards what I want. Reprogram. My attention goes to what I want. I'm good, growing better. Don't let that old thought, that old belief, that old program keep running. Don't argue with it. Don't reinforce it. Let it go. That's the neurons and synapses that fire together, wire together. But as soon as you stop them from firing, that hardwired path gets less powerful. And your authentic beliefs will come out again. Because here's the thing, you don't have to reprogram your brain. You just have to downregulate the old beliefs that are releasing the negative hormones and make space, create space, open up space in your mind, your heart, and your body for your authentic beliefs, who you really are, what you really want, what you really are capable of, your potential, your purpose, your passion. It's there already. You just have to make space for it to lead the way. R3 it, release it, replace with 5-word interrupt. I'm good, growing better is a great one. I love it. You can choose the one that works for you, but you must do this work. When you recognize it, write it down, keep track of it, and throughout the day, maintain that level of awareness so when it does happen, you R3 it every single time. This is how you rewire your brain. This is the action you need to take. Here's your homework. Get your F3 journal. If you don't have one yet, get one. It just takes a moment. Get a journal and write F3 on it. One of those notebooks with spiral bound. You get your kids' old homework journal. Maybe there's some left over from back to school. But you're going to write about your feelings, your fasting, and your food. How many? I mean, because if you're on this call, most likely food has been one of your SP programs. You've used food to feel better. I have, and it feels good, especially ice cream at night. Yeah, worked really well. Not as well as drugs, but it worked. So I know what it feels like to use food as comfort, as safety. If you're not fasting from food, no problem. Fast from your old programs, your old beliefs, your old automatic behaviors. How long can you go without thinking that same thought? How long can you go without compiling a to-do list in your head instead of focusing on what you're doing? Fast from the old programs and behaviors. And the most important part, what are the feelings that keep coming up? And what are the thoughts you have about those feelings? And what beliefs do you think are triggering them that you can actually do something about? When you downregulate these things, you will take control of your emotional hormones. But it's moment to moment work. I call it your warrior moments. A feeling happens, and you have to decide, do I do the old way that's comfortable and I'm used to and familiar, or do I do it different? Every time a person triggers that feeling, and the neurochemicals and hormones combine to create the feeling in your body, you have to make a decision. That's your warrior moment. Temptation, warrior moment. Someone makes you mad, warrior moment. You catch yourself judging someone or yourself, warrior moment. You will get ample warrior moments. How you handle the warrior moments is completely up to you. And if you address every warrior moment as it comes up, you are going to have a different outcome. So if you have questions, type them in the chat. I am going to give you your last tool. The feeling comes and it sucks. It sucks. Your best friend who you thought had your back totally talked smack behind your back and didn't show up for a meeting you had or coffee. You feel angry, you feel hurt, you feel scared that you're not loved. That's how I feel. That is a feeling. That feeling sucks. I mean, you feel in your whole body. Your sympathetic nervous system goes full speed. You got cortisol going, epinephrine going, your body's holding on to fat, you're in fight or flight mode. Here's what you do. This is called 4-7-8 breathing. It's instant stress hormone calmer. It's breathe in, completely inflate your lungs with a 4 count inhale through your nose. Has to be through your nose. Do it with me. Don't be shy. No one's watching. Hold it for 7 counts. Exhale for 8. Right away, when you finish the exhale, inhale again, belly breath, inflate your whole lungs. Hold it for 7. Exhale for 8. If you do 4 of those breaths, your autonomic nervous system will automatically calm down. That allows you to think clearer and to make a decision that's consistent with your purpose, your intentions, and your goal. Don't allow your emotions to control you. Your emotions are real. You can't ignore them, but you can take the power out of them, and you can stop with your warrior moments, those automatic reactions and the automatic stories we tell ourselves about ourselves. Get curious. What stories am I telling myself that aren't true? Last thing, a lot of times when we wake up in the morning, first thing we ask ourselves are, what do I have to do today? Or what do I have to worry about today? Try this. How can I move closer to my goal today? How can I take care of my joy and love today? How can I love my life more today? Ask your question that first thing in the morning, and your subconscious mind will go to work on it. Your subconscious mind will do what you tell it to as long as you tell it again and again and again. But we've been giving it fight or flight messages for so long, that's what it thinks we want. It won't know any better until we tell it differently. All right. Went long. You can tell I'm very passionate about this part of hormone recovery. Is there any questions that I can answer before we get off this call? I will be putting out content about this till the day I leave this planet. I am so passionate about it. And I know that if I say it the right way, the right time, people will change their lives over it. Yes, I can help you lose weight. Yes, I can put you on the right time eating protocol. But unless you change what's going on up top, what happens in your body will be short-lived. But when you do change what's going on up top, making changes to your body, your finances, your relationship becomes second nature. I make it sound easy. I know it's not. It's hard work, but there's a simple solution. You just got to decide to follow it. All right. Any messages in the group, I'll be happy to get. Anything. Oh, I saw someone can't breathe through their nose. Here's what I did. I have the same issue. And I invested in this type, and this type. This was the cheapest type, the most inexpensive. These are nose strips. And don't worry, you get what you pay for. These work, but sometimes they don't work as well, and they're not as easy to put on. But here's what you do with a nose strip. Oh, this one's good. Has a little middle thing. You find a mirror, and you aim right for the mid nose, not the lower nose, not the upper nose. You scream it down. Oh my God, instantly, I can breathe through my nose. I was a mouth breather my whole entire life. Didn't know any better because my nose was always stuffed. Nasal breathing helps your hormones. I repeat, nasal breathing helps your hormones. Do whatever it takes to inhale through your nose. All these insignificant small things add up to a big, healthy hormone picture. So if you take 1, 3, 5, or just one of the tips I gave you today and apply them like a warrior, you're going to notice differences. I'm Coach Tom, most grateful man on the planet. Thank you for Coach Rowena for joining us. Thank you all the ladies who joined us. Thank you anyone I didn't get to say hi to for joining us. And go forth and do well. See you next time.